Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fluent Vibe Podcast. I'm Ria.
And I'm Ethan.
Today, we're talking about something that affects almost every English learner, something invisible, something powerful, something that often stops people from speaking even when they know the words.
The fear of making mistakes.
If you've ever stayed silent in a conversation because you weren't sure your English was correct, then this episode is for you, because the real reason you're afraid of making mistakes may not be what you think.
Soft intro music fades in and slowly fades out.
Ethan, let's start with a simple question. Why are people so afraid of mistakes?
Most people think they're afraid of grammar mistakes, or pronunciation mistakes, or vocabulary mistakes.
But that's not the real reason.
Not usually. The real fear is emotional.
Interesting.
People aren't afraid of mistakes, they're afraid of what those mistakes might mean.
Meaning?
They fear being judged, being embarrassed, looking unintelligent, feeling rejected.
So the mistake isn't the problem.
The meaning attached to the mistake is the problem.
That's powerful. Let's imagine a learner named Sarah.
Okay.
Sarah knows English. She studies every day. She understands podcasts. She watches English videos.
Sounds like a dedicated learner.
But whenever she speaks English, her confidence disappears.
A very common situation.
Why?
Because Sarah isn't thinking about communication, she's thinking about judgment.
And that changes everything.
Exactly. Instead of asking, how can I express my idea? She asks, what if I make a mistake? What if they laugh? What if they think I'm bad at English?
And suddenly the conversation becomes stressful.
Very stressful.
Let's talk about childhood, because I think many fears start there.
Absolutely. Many people grew up believing mistakes were bad.
At school.
At school. Sometimes at home, sometimes in social situations.
Mistakes were often connected to criticism.
Exactly. So the brain learned an important lesson.
What lesson?
Mistakes are dangerous.
Even though mistakes are actually part of learning.
Exactly. The brain becomes confused. It wants growth, but it fears the process required for growth.
And that process includes mistakes.
Thousands of them.
You know what's ironic?
What's that?
The people who become fluent usually make more mistakes.
That's true.
Not fewer?
No, because they speak more, they practice more, they experiment more.
Which naturally creates mistakes.
Exactly. But it also creates learning.
So mistakes and progress often grow together.
Very often.
That's something many learners don't realize.
Because they're focused on avoiding mistakes instead of creating improvement.
Let's discuss overthinking.
One of the biggest enemies of fluency.
How does it work?
Imagine someone asks you a simple question.
Okay.
Instead of answering naturally, you begin checking everything. Grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, sentence structure.
All at the same time.
Exactly. And while you're analyzing, the conversation keeps moving.
That's so common.
Because perfectionism often disguises itself as preparation, but actually creates hesitation.
And hesitation creates anxiety, which creates even more hesitation.
A cycle that repeats itself.
Let's imagine two English learners.
Okay,
The first learner speaks even when nervous,
good.
makes mistakes, learns, keeps going.
And grows steadily.
The second learner waits until everything feels perfect.
A very dangerous habit.
Who becomes fluent faster?
Almost always the first learner.
Why?
Because action teaches the brain. Waiting teaches fear.
That's a powerful sentence.
One of the most important lessons in language learning.
So what is the real reason people fear English mistakes?
Because deep down, they fear judgment, not grammar. They fear embarrassment, not vocabulary. They fear rejection, not pronunciation.
And once they understand that, everything starts changing.
Because now they can focus on the real problem, the fear itself.
Instead of blaming their English.
Exactly. And once you understand the fear, you can finally begin overcoming it.
Exactly. And one of the most important things listeners need to realize is this: your brain is trying to protect you.
Protect you.
Yes, fear is not your enemy. Fear is your brain attempting to keep you safe.
Even when there's no real danger.
Exactly. The problem is that the brain sometimes confuses discomfort with danger.
That's fascinating.
Speaking English feels uncomfortable. The brain interprets that discomfort as a threat, and suddenly fear appears, even though nothing dangerous is actually happening.
Exactly.
Let's imagine you're in a conversation.
Okay.
You're in a conversation. Someone asks you a question in English,
A normal situation.
but instantly your heart starts beating faster.
Your palms feel sweaty.
Your mind goes blank,
Your breathing changes.
and suddenly you panic.
Many learners know this feeling.
Very well, because the brain believes something important is at stake.
Your social image.
Exactly. How others see you.
But here's something interesting.
What's that?
People often respect effort more than perfection.
Very true. When someone tries to speak a second language, most people admire the courage.
Not the mistakes.
Yet learners focus only on mistakes.
Because fear narrows attention.
Meaning?
Fear makes us focus on negatives, mistakes, problems, embarrassment,
And ignore positives.
progress, growth, improvement, courage.
That's such an important insight.
Because growth becomes invisible when fear controls attention.
Let's talk about perfectionism again.
A major source of fear.
Many learners secretly believe if I make a mistake, people will think I'm not smart.
Exactly. But language ability and intelligence are not the same thing.
Not at all.
Someone can be brilliant and still be learning English.
That's true. Learning a language simply means you're learning a skill, not proving your worth.
Exactly.
Imagine a musician learning a new instrument.
Okay,
Would we expect perfection on day one?
of course not.
What about a person learning to drive?
Also no.
Then why do we expect perfect English from ourselves?
That's the question. Many learners demand perfection from themselves in situations where they would show patience to everyone else.
That's so true. They treat themselves more harshly than they would ever treat a friend. If your best friend was learning English and made a mistake, what would you say?
Probably something encouraging.
You'd say, "It's okay.
Keep practicing.
You're improving."
Don't worry.
But when we make mistakes ourselves,
We often become our own worst critic.
exactly, and that self-criticism damages confidence over time.
A lot of time.
Let's discuss confidence one more time.
Because confidence is often misunderstood.
People think confidence means feeling no fear, but that's not true.
Then what is confidence?
Confidence is trusting yourself despite uncertainty.
That's beautiful. Confidence says, I might make mistakes.
But I'll be okay.
Exactly. Confidence isn't certainty, it's trust.
Trust in your ability to learn.
Trust in your ability to improve.
Trust in your ability to keep going, even when things aren't perfect. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson of today's episode.
Go ahead.
Mistakes are not evidence that you're failing.
They're evidence that you're participating.
They're evidence that you're trying.
They're evidence that you're growing
Every fluent speaker made thousands of mistakes,
and survived every single one.
which means your mistakes are not stopping your fluency.
Fear of mistakes is.
And the moment you begin speaking despite that fear, your journey changes.
Your confidence changes.
Your English changes.
Your future changes.
One conversation at a time, one brave sentence at a time.
One imperfect moment at a time.
Because fluency isn't built through perfection,
It's built through practice,
not through waiting,
but through speaking.
not through fear, but through courage. To be continued.